How can I send it down?
It's confusing.
What?
Am I missing something?
I do not understand.
What is this woman talking about?
What you talking about, Willis?
I don't want a dissertation. I just want an apology.
I'm sorry you think you deserve an apology.
You deserve 2 flushes. Get out of here, Uncle Tina. Bye. All right, so now he's blaming the weed. This is the whole Shaggy thing. It wasn't me. How are you all doing today? Listen, we have as always, a huge show.
Sounds like a big one.
And I really like to see more. I really like to see better for our people.
I send out texts and WhatsApp messages and emails all the time, kind of keeping folk up to date with what's going on. We tried to make the guests as comfortable as possible, given the situation we were in.
Just want to say thank you, my Urban Knights, for entering into the Urban Suite with me, Dr. Lisa LaCon, where you laugh, learn, cry, and grow.
And so it's a beautiful mix of what we offer here.
Love that segment that you do with missing persons. And if I had to do it all over again, I would do it all over again.
Wow. Hello. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm really back. Last week I wasn't here. And who am I? I am Dr. Lisa LaCon, and you have entered into the Urban Suite with me. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, we have a wonderful show. But before I divulge and give up too much, we'll be right back. Stay with us. You are entering the Urban Suite with Dr. Lisa LaCon. Let's see. Something is happening. I wasn't expecting that, but hello, I'm back. So anyway, oh my gosh, I forgot. I was gone for a week, and I'm thinking my intro is a little longer, but it's not. So anyway, oh my gosh. So anyway, we are back and then into the Urban Suite. Oh my gosh. So tonight we're going to talk about a recap of what I talked about, the personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, HPD. But also we're going to get into election night stuff, because remember, it is primary day, election night in several states. So we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to bring into the Urban Suite Dupre Kelly, who is actually running for city council position in the West Ward in Newark, New Jersey. So we will be right back after our missing person segment and some more. All right, so for those who are new into the Urban Suite, every week during a scheduled regular show, we highlight people that are missing, whether they're little children, whether they're the elderly, and male, female, regardless, we highlight them because this deserves a platform for children, people, whomever are missing. So who do we have up first? We have Cody Bigsby. I need my readers, you guys. Cody Bigsby, he's been missing since January the 31st, 2022 from Hampton, Virginia. Now, I remember seeing his billboard. He has a huge billboard in Hampton because he's still missing. He's 4 years old, Black male. He's light skinned. His height is 3 feet. He's 40 pounds. Hair color is black. Hair length is short. Eye color is brown. His location last seen, according to police, Cody was last seen in the 100 block of Renalette Drive at the Buckrow Point Townhomes in the Buckrow area of Hampton. Now, for those who are familiar with that area, that's like the Buckrow Beach. There's a beautiful beach in that area. Beautiful area. Officers were called to the home where after 9 a.m. on Monday, January 31st, when they arrived, Cody's father, Corey Bigsby, told him the child was last seen around 2 a.m. that day. Okay, the circumstances of his disappearance. Corey, was charged on Thursday. That is the dad. Corey was charged on Thursday, February 3rd, with 7 counts of child neglect after previously being named a person of interest in the case of his missing son, Cody. Hampton police said his timeline for Cody's disappearance didn't match evidence collected. Something I have to say sounds very fishy with this, but anyone with information, please contact Hampton Police Department, and that number is area code 757-727-6111, or you can contact BAMFI at 877-97-BAMFI. Listen, where's my bell? People from Hampton, Norfolk, the whole Tidewater area, Virginia Beach, let's bring Cody Bigsby home. Who do we have next up? DeJuan Henson. DeJuan Henson, he's been missing since May the 30th, 2022 from Greenbelt, Maryland. Listen, PG County, Greenbelt, Maryland. Listen up. DeJuan Henson, look at his face. He's 25 years old, Black male, medium complexion. He's 5'6", 140 pounds, black hair, short hair length, and his eye color is brown. His location last seen was DeJuan was last seen at a soccer field on the 7200 block of Maiden Road around 9:30 p.m. Monday, May 30th. Now, his circumstances of his disappearance are this. DeJuan is autistic and may need medical attention. He was last seen wearing a black hat, black shirt, and brown jeans. Anyone with information, please contact the Greenbelt Police Department at area code 301-474-7200 or BAMFI at 877-97-BAMFI. Listen, let's bring DeJuan home. Let's bring Cody home. So listen, we are sponsored by Blessed Ministries Incorporated. The Urban Suite is sponsored by Blessed Ministries Incorporated. We are the premier workforce development agency in the state of New Jersey. And we work with various populations to get them employed, you guys. We work with those under the supervision of parole. We work with adults with disabilities. We work with youth with disabilities, like teens with disabilities. We work with those impacted by opioids in the state of New Jersey, as well as those that are receiving like food stamps and things of that nature. We do put people to work. All right, my urbanites, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to like, I need you to share, I need you to follow. And also, underneath on YouTube, there's a little heart with the $sign. I need you to donate because all donations go to Blessed Ministries Incorporated. We are sponsored by Bless Ministries Incorporated. We do put people to work, and people need clothes, they need IDs, they need a host of things, haircuts, things of that nature, things that we take for granted. They need that to go to work. Can you imagine going to work looking disheveled because you don't have money for a haircut? Can you imagine going to work without having the proper shoes? These are things that we do to put people to work, and we need your assistance and we need your help. So thank you again. I need you to like, share, donate, and follow. Now remember, I'm on Facebook as well, but I'm telling you, my Facebook family, I'm guiding you over to YouTube. All right. So I'm on Facebook with Urban Twos for Change, Facebook Blessed Ministries, Facebook Dads. So, but I'm sliding you all over. So anyway, that's enough of that. So 2 weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Yes, 2 weeks ago, I actually did a show about personality disorder. And forgive the ghetto sounding dog, I'm sorry, in the back. I have no idea, Anyway, and what I noticed was, because I did that in the month of May, because May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And as you know, you can see the PhD CRC. So I am Dr. Lisa Lacan. I have a PhD in psychiatric rehabilitation. Now, people may ask, what is that CRC? I'm a certified rehabilitation counselor. So what that means is I went to school, got my master's, sat for an exam, and I am able to counsel people using different approaches to work with people with all types of disabilities, whether it's psychiatric disabilities, developmental disabilities, physical disabilities, whatever it is, so that they can go back to work and be successful in that construct of their life, employment. But also outside of employment, I do counseling in terms of accountability coaching, so that people who may want to lose weight, people who may want to kickstart and jump certain things in their life, guess what? They can come and see me. I'm going to develop that a little bit more as time goes on. But I talked about from the DSM-5 Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, the 5th edition. I said, my urbanites, how many personality disorders does the DSM-5 recognize? You all remember? Probably not. 10. 10, 10, 10. It's 10. So I did histrionic personality disorder first. So I'm going to name all 10 because I'm going to be doing a special on all 10 personality disorders starting June 21st. Listen, you're going to learn about these 10 personality disorders, okay? And not only are you going to learn about them, you're going to learn about the certain treatment approaches that can assist them, all right? Because like what I said, medication is not warranted for this. So anyway, there are 10, all right? So we have paranoid personality disorder. We have schizoid personality disorder. We have schizotypal personality disorder. We have antisocial personality disorder. We have borderline personality disorder. That's the next one I'm going to do, borderline personality disorder. We have histrionic personality disorder. I did that one 2 weeks ago. We have narcissistic personality disorder. Now that's a big one because everybody is being diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. She got personality disorder. He has narcissistic personality disorder. I'm like, okay. Avoidant personality disorder, dependent personality disorder, as well as obsessive compulsive personality disorder. So we're going to hit on all 10. I'm going to do one a week. And I need your feedback. I need your input. And I need you to take notes. Take notes because someone in your family may be, have this and they may not be diagnosed. So anyway, it's going to be very interesting. And then tonight we have Dupre Kelly in the Urban Suite. So if you all are familiar with him, he was the former singer with Lords of the Underground, and he is a resident of Newark, New Jersey, the Brick City, and he is running for city council position. Now, listen, about 3 weeks ago, there was a runoff. Now, Newark is very interesting because he only garnered about 38% of the vote. Now, he garnered the most. However, he did not get 50% plus 1 of the vote to be declared victorious. So guess what they have to do? A runoff. Oh my gosh, they have to do a runoff. So the runoff is coming up next week, and then we're going to get into it with Dr. Well, I was like, why do I call him Dr. Dupre Kelly? Is he trying to get his doctorate or something? I don't know. Anyway, we'll be right back with all of that and then much more. So tonight we're talking about personality disorders. What is a personality disorder? It's pervasive and it's inflexible. So let's get into histrionic personality disorder right now. It means theatrical and overly dramatic. It's like someone it's like all about me. They are uncomfortable when they are not the center of attention. Inappropriate sexual provocative behavior. They're overly sexualized. They like to flirt all the time. Rapidly shifting, shallow emotional displays. And they constantly use physical appearances to draw attention. And then number 5, excessively impressionistic with their style of speech. And then here's another one, exaggerated expression of emotion. And then they're easily influenced by others or circumstances. And then considers relationships to be more intimate than they actually are. They believe that everyone that they meet is attracted to them in a sexual way. You have to have five or more, and to be diagnosed by a licensed therapist, psychiatrist, so that you can be treated. With personality disorders, there is no cure and no medication. However, with this disorder comes along anxiety, high anxiety, as well as depression. Now, some people with this disorder, they do take medication for the anxiety and the depression. But again, for personality disorders, medication is not the thing. If a person persistently exhibits 5 or more, and they have been diagnosed with that, they in turn will have histrionic personality disorder. Because there is a difference between being cured and treated. When it comes to personality disorders, you can be treated. It takes a lot of work. And these are some of the treatment modalities that people use. A lot of psychotherapy. The goal is, again, to change your mindset. So, all right. So we have Kurt Nice with us from Beyond the Curtain.
Yes. Hey, Lisa.
What's happening, Kurt Nice? What's happening?
Well, before we get into the interview that we actually pre-recorded for this segment with Dupre Kelly, I actually wanted to show you something else. And this deals with politics and stuff. It's very short. It's very short. Let me ask you this.
How long, Curtis?
54 seconds.
All right. Come on now.
Do you know who Matthew McConaughey is?
I do, and I had no idea that he was from Uvalde.
Exactly.
And I have to say, I saw him at the White House, and it was
that's what I'm playing.
And moving. I was like, oh my God, I had no idea. I knew he was from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And you
That's
know
what I
how
have a clip of.
yes, you know how I knew he was from Texas?
How?
Because he is a big Washington football team or Commanders, and he always talks about that and how he does not like Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, what the hell to do with Texas? Yeah, but he was at the White House today speaking about the tragedy that happened in Uvalde, Texas, at the elementary school out there where 19 kids were.
Yes.
So I wanted to, so you already saw it, but for those people that didn't see it, because that just actually happened today. So for some of the people that didn't see it, I just wanted to give them a little clip of.
All right. Awesome.
Alethea. She was one of the 19 children that were killed the day before. Now, Alethea, her dream was to go to art school in Paris and one day share her art with the world. Ryan and Jessica were eager to share Alethea's art with us and said if we could share it, that somehow, maybe that would make Alethea smile in heaven. They told us that showing someone else Alethea's art would in some way keep her alive. Now, this particular drawing is a self-portrait, all right, of Alethea drawing with her friend in heaven looking down on her, drawing the very same picture. Her mother said of this drawing, she said, you know, we never really talked to her about heaven before, but somehow she knew.
That's deep, right?
I have to say his speech, it hit on a lot of points and it was so poignant. And I have to say it really, if you did not get a chance to look at the entire thing, please do so.
Yeah.
And I had no idea he was from that part of Texas. I knew he was a Texan, but I had no idea that he was from that part. And he really put a balance between being a responsible owner and then changing laws, reflecting, increasing the age, talking about red laws.
Red flag laws, yeah.
Yeah, and things of that nature. And it was just really like, you know, sometimes when these actors get on this platform, you're like, okay, I know they're acting. So is he really acting or not? But when he said initially, this is his hometown, this is where he's from, this is where he grew up, you know, I can understand that.
All right. Well, I do actually have one more 35-second clip from that, but I did want to talk to you about what you thought about him as well when we come back on the other side of it.
Okay.
Maite wore green high-top Converse with a heart she had hand-drawn on the right toe because they represented her love of nature. Camilla's got these shoes. Can you show these shoes, please? Wore these every day. Green Converse with a heart on the right toe. These are the same green Converse on her feet that turned out to be the only clear evidence that could identify her after the shooting. How about that?
See, I'm getting ready to start crying.
See, now, it was very. Now, see, I feel like
I need a tissue.
You didn't have no tissues with you on the side.
No tissue with me.
And no big neckerchief this time.
No, I sure don't. See, I'm like, my eyes are watering up, like, oh my gosh. Oh.
Yeah, see, because that's like, I feel like that was a genuine moment.
Yes.
I feel like that was but I feel like people are gonna be, you know, questioning him and stuff because he did have political aspirations, and this might almost be practice for him, like coming out there and talking about a political event. So
well, I mean, it could be both. Why does it have to one have to not exist with the other? It could be both.
Right. And so, but it's just like what you said with, like you said, with actors come out there, you don't know if they acted or not. So I was gonna say we're gonna talk about that to transition into Dupre Kelly, because I think there is a difference between, say, actors and, say, a rapper, for instance, who might have been speaking about certain things and issues because that's what they're doing as a rapper. Like, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about the issues of the community and stuff like that. They're not using it for political power or anything like that. They're just using it to talk and make money, but, you know, and make people dance and all that other kind of stuff and enjoy themselves. But they're actually talking about issues, whereas actors are kind of like learning how to pull on people's emotional strings, pull on people's
Because they didn't
heartstrings.
know how to do that. I mean,
Right.
I've seen a movie with him and he's made me almost cry. So I'm like, oh my gosh. Then he bangs on the table.
Right.
I'm like, oh my gosh. And then, I mean, but again, I think outside of the acting, when you have an attachment to an area, it really personalizes, you know, everything. It's sort of like if you're born and raised in a certain area and something really traumatic happens in that area, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't care how many years you've been removed from that area. There's just something that's just, you know, that attachment that you have. And I mean, you know, unless
that's why
these are
no. I think it was genuine.
Yeah, I am almost certain it was genuine. One, he's a father also, you know, and when you put that hat on as a parent, you know, as a human, that because we didn't even get a chance to talk about the shooting.
No, and he's a gun owner too, though. He's a gun owner.
That's why he said there are responsible gun owners, which that is true. There are responsible gun owners. Let's focus on the ones that are irresponsible, because you have responsible gun owners. And we talked about this, you know, how long will it take if you lived outside in some remote area for the cops to come if someone were to break into your house?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, let's be honest.
Yeah, you need a gun in certain areas. You know
right. You need a gun in certain areas. That's my opinion. That is my opinion. That it may take.
Now, I don't know if you need an AR-15.
Huh?
Right. I just don't know if you need an AR-15 to shoot down prairie dogs and gophers and stuff like that. I don't think you need an AR-15.
No,
like a normal rifle should do the trick.
That should do the
You don't need like you don't need a machine gun or like a military style weapon for gophers and boars and stuff. They said pigs, like wild hogs. They have a problem with those out there in Texas and stuff.
So Kurt Nice, you had the opportunity to interview Dupre Kelly.
Yes.
So let's talk to us about that. How was that? Tell us what.
Well, it was a very in-depth interview. I feel we got to a lot of the points that he wanted to bring up, as far as why he wanted to be a part of the city council and how he got into politics. And his history with the city of Newark, right, as a lifelong Newark resident. Now, we have been having some glitching problems with StreamYard tonight, so we're going to try to play this from the bottom, but if anything happens, we'll just play our one on the side, and that'll give us a better perspective without it glitching out on us too tough.
That is correct.
So we're going to try the one on the bottom first, though, just to see if it'll work.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, that's us. That's us.
Because I want to be able to
pull that back.
Our youth some of the same.
Hold on. Let him get his intros again, because that was just a muting problem. But this is Dupre Kelly, as you can see, and it's not letting me pull it back for some reason. Can you pull it back? Can you
I don't know. My hands are on my.
Okay, I got it.
I'm like my hands are on me. I'm not fooling with you.
What's up, everybody? My name is Dupre Kelly, and I am running for Newark West Ward City Council because I want to be able to give our youth some of the same opportunities that I had when I was growing up in the West Ward. I want to be able to create even more opportunities, business opportunities for our business owners, and create equity for our residents and our community. You know, I want to build economic development that helps the West Ward grow. You know, I am running for city council because the ancestors in my community prayed that I make it out. I made it out and I came back. And it's going to be an honor to govern where I grew. I'm a resident of Newark my entire life. I just moved for work. I moved to Paris for 1 year. one of my ex-girlfriends had me living in Brooklyn for 2 years.
Uh-oh.
For work, I moved to
Uh-oh.
LA for 1 year,
Oh, okay.
doing production as a producer with film and television. But other than that, I've been in Newark and in the West Ward my entire life. Well, you know, my West Ward history goes back to Ron Rice, you know, Mamie Bridgeforth and Ron Rice Jr. And, you know, I've seen it change in different ways. I've seen it, you know, I've been part of it when that brown beer bottle used to hover in the air, you know, at Pat's. I was there when Cooper sandwiches, you can smell that you were in between 20th Street and Grove Street. You know, I was there when Velsburg Park was a staple in the West Ward, and Bradley Courts and the Lower Velsburg, and people from Fairmount District used to walk to the park to enjoy the park, play baseball and basketball. You know, I've been there a long time. I'm from 19th Street and South Orange Avenue. I was born on 16th Street between 14th Avenue and South Orange Avenue, but raised on 19th Street, right where the sand pit used to be on the corner. You know, I was lucky enough to be part of the programming that they had there, with David Wright Association, with his disco dances in the basement of the building. You know, I was there when Ron Howard had the Optimist League, and Rufus Johnson made me fall in love with baseball, and Senator Ron Rice, you know, started Pop Warner in the West Ward. So I was there when the West Ward felt like a real community, and it had programs and initiatives to back that up. Now I want to create some of those same opportunities. We still have Boylan Street. And Team Baraka and the Baraka administration, they still have great programs. But I do believe that we need to make them more visible. We need to make them more out there and promote them and market them a little more so that the people can know that it's there. And the streets have changed. You know, you used to can walk from Ivy Hill down to Bergen Street, and the parents wouldn't be that upset.
I would dare not walk.
Not no more, right?
Look, listen, I don't even like driving down that at night. And Officer Rick Maldonado was on the last time. He was a cop. Listen, I'm about to say something. If I have to go down there at night driving by myself, I'm going through red lights. I'm not stopping my car. You got what?
Well, okay. I mean, the reputation goes past, you know, what the realities always is. But it's still, some of those areas still do have a bad reputation. But as he will say, that area helped breed a lot of talented individuals too, and people that have had great success, become billionaires and all kinds of things out of that area.
Yeah, And would they walk down that area at night now?
Well, they do it all can. He has no problem. Like, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. I get it. But I just would not. Listen, I love the urban community, but I understand that you have to be watchful in the urban community.
Keep your head on a swivel sometimes.
Yep. All right. So how do we start this again?
Keep going.
They wouldn't, you know, not feel safe. And now you have parents who don't want their children to go to Boylan Street if they live in Ivy Hill. You have parents over in the Roseville section that, you know, you have Spanish speaking parents. They would not even chance their children walking over to any cultural center or anything on the west side of the West Ward. So I want to change that. I want to create safe passage. I want to be able to create
Now he said safe passage.
Mm-hmm.
South Orange Avenue. Man, what is that? South Orange and is that 12th? Like 12th Street or so?
Okay.
Man, they need to take a big broom to that section of the street. Because let me tell you, there's a store. I think the people are holding the building up. They just out there. I mean, it's some.
Well, I mean, well, you know what? But Newark has changed. Actually, we're going to talk about that too. But if you think about Newark in the 90s, because I remember I used to come out here in the 90s too, though. Newark was totally different. I don't know. You was probably in Brooklyn back then, but like.
I was in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yes, I was in Brooklyn. Well, at 93, 92, I was in Brooklyn. But you know what I have to say? Newark now reminds me of DC about 15, 20 years ago.
In what way?
The buildings, it's not finished being gentrified or colonized.
Well, yeah, because it's being gentrified. It's a lot more gentrified. You don't even have like the projects no more. There's no projects over there. A lot of the projects they
and then that studio is coming. We're going to talk about that movie studio.
Oh, actually, yeah, you're gonna have to. We're gonna have to go into some details about that because I'm not sure about the particular movie studio you're talking about.
Yeah, what? Where you been, Mr. Kurt Nice?
What? Which one are you talking about?
It's a huge movie studio they're gonna build.
All right, well, we'll talk about that. We have to go into this. I mean, this is stuff that's going on in the city people don't know about.
All right, so
I'm too focused on urban tools. I haven't paying attention to that.
All right, let's continue.
Safe place and quality of life in our community that we had then. And it's not that hard. You know, my whole plan is I'm the only candidate that wrote a plan for the West Ward. And it's called the Revitalization West Ward Plan, the West Ward Revitalization Plan. And in that plan, we talk about, you know, quality of life, economic development.
All right, I'm sorry, but there's a playground on South Orange Avenue. That's not quality of life on that playground. It's a playground, huh?
Which one? Which one?
It's a little playground right on South Orange Avenue in the Velsburg area.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did was a couple of years ago, I drove up South Orange Avenue heading towards South Orange. Mm-hmm. I took a picture of that playground. And then when I came to South Orange, I took a picture of that playground. And you
South Orange and Newark, like that's a totally different.
I know, but guess what? Our children deserve it. I don't care if it's only like a couple of feet across from the border. Our children deserve quality of life. That playground sucks. That playground is a dump.
Okay, well, he's not in office yet. He's not the city council yet.
Well,
so he's not on the city council. So once he get in there, then maybe, you know.
I'll show him the playground. I'll show him that playground. All right, let's go.
And rebuilding and reactivating block associations and neighborhood associations. So we can begin to have safe passage and make people want to be in the West Ward again. Yes, sir. We have swimming in the West Ward. We have boxing in the West Ward. Mm-hmm. We have games for seniors and trips for seniors. We have job opportunities, you know, that the city of Newark is creating for our youth summer programs. We have these programs that are happening, but can it be more? Yes, we have development that's happening in the West Ward. You know, you have the Urban League who is building in the Fairmount district. You know, you have them, Vivian Frazier, who's building in the West Side section of the West Ward. You have Cyree Morris and Ayanna Morris, who's building on South Orange Avenue. So there are great things happening in the West Ward. But when one bad thing happens, it overrides all of the great things that are happening. And we just want to continue to do more and more great things and give that publicity and give that marketing. So we're not using the one bad thing or the two bad things that happen to scare away people who are willing to come here and help us build the West Ward. We can't do it alone, Kurt. We can't. Right. So I don't care. When you put me in office or they put me in office June 14th, we cannot do it alone. We need the residents. We need the business owners. We need the stakeholders. We need the youth. But I think
Curtis.
Yes.
If he is elected, I'm coming on right now to say if he is elected, I'm going to help him clean that playground.
All right. We're going to have a whole special cleaning that playground.
I'm telling you, that playground green, you know, I'm fond of children.
It's been sticking in your craw for a while.
What? Okay,
Yeah.
let's go. I'm serious. Yes. Mm-hmm.
The Barack administration are doing a lot of great things, and I think the people of the city agree with that. With the mayor's, with his rating, with his acceptance rating, it's about 88% or 83%, if I'm not mistaken, and that's because of the way that he dealt with our lead service lines, and not charging the residents of replacing them. That so much so that it became a blueprint in our city for the rest of the nation. Ken Gibson once said, as Newark goes, so does the nation. And I believe that Mayor Baraka is doing an excellent job. I think that one of the things that I think that we can do that is a little different is just more marketing and publicity of the things that we have available to us, because all of those things are on the city's website. But our seniors and some people are not as computer literate as we would like them to.
See, that's actually an important point. Like, there be programs and stuff available, and there's building projects and stuff that's going on that most people don't even know about because the marketing is not there.
The marketing, and we know how some of the elderly are on Zoom. You've seen them, like they just can't get it together. They just can't get it right. You're looking up their nose. You're looking at their
right. But
it's a disconnection. It really is.
And not just that, but a regular person going about their regular day is not going to be sitting there checking the Newark City website for stuff that's going on. Like, you're never going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have to do regular promotion again, like posters and commercial campaigns.
Well, they do, like I know in Essex County, don't you get the robocalls by the guy? I mean, he calls all the time. Tony, what's his name?
Nah, DiVincenzo?
Yes, all the time.
Yeah, it's a county executive.
Yes, we get robocalls all the time.
Well, but see, most of the robocalls I get is about that vehicle, so the vehicle owner warranty protection.
Oh no,
lie. That's all I get. I don't get nothing to tell me what's going on in Newark like that. No.
Yeah, I get a lot of the Essex County. He calls quite often. He does robocalls.
Well, you must be on a certain type of list. But in actuality, speaking of the primaries, he's on the ballot tonight too, on the Democratic ballot. He's running unopposed though. So tonight are the primaries for certain Senate campaigns. In my district, it's between Donald Payne Jr., Imani Oakley, and one other person. So we get to choose between, if Donald Payne Jr. or Imani Oakley is going to go to be the Democratic candidate to go against the Republican in this particular area. And then down South Jersey,
there's a Republican running?
Well,
area?
I think just for the heck of it, probably, yeah. And just for the name recognition and to just boost their name up a little bit. Maybe they want to start a real estate agency or something. Right. They need their name out there. So now they got an excuse to put it on a whole bunch of billboards and stuff. Some people, they just run vanity campaigns. They know they ain't gonna win.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, so New Jersey, along with a couple other states tonight, have elections and stuff. Right. So in the California. California, a couple of different places have elections tonight. So we're going to see who's going to be advancing over into the real general election, which comes up in November. So this is a real active time for voters because we got to vote like a couple of weeks ago, and in the city council elections, then we get to vote tonight in the primaries for the state, and then we get to vote again next week for the runoff elections, because there's actually a runoff in my ward, which is the South Ward as well.
Okay, so there are two runoffs.
Yes, the candidate in the South Ward didn't. Actually, there's a runoff in the East Ward too, I believe. That because I saw a commercial. So I believe there's a down in the neck. There's a runoff down there as well, because you have to get over 50%. So when there's like 4 or 5 candidates in the election, none of them usually, unless they're like a blowout person, nobody gets over that 50%. So then the top 2 candidates have to go in the runoff.
And then if the top 2 candidates It's just whoever gets the most votes.
Yeah, because actually at that point it will be over 50% because it's only
Right,
two
because
people now.
it's only two
It's only two people, so one person's going to have more than 50%.
Okay.
But it's just when there's like 5 or 6 people, it's harder for one person to get 50%.
Now he's running up against Chikozi.
Yeah, I can't say his last name.
Right.
You have to bring up that site, and we might have to look at it on there.
Right. Oh, hold on. Let me bring it up. Hold on for a quick. His name is Chikozi Oyema. Oyema, yes, Chikozi Oyema. So previously, when they did the runoff, Mr. Kelly had 37.99 or 38% of the vote, and then Chikozi had 29% of the vote. And out of all the candidates, Dupre Kelly, he did have the highest. However, he did not garner 50%, more than 50%. And only 3,919 people cast their vote in the West Ward. Right. So then you had Oscar James, he did 13%. You had Lyndon Brown, 8%. You had Levita Johnson, 9% or 10%. And then you had Michelle Lynn Middleton at 2.3%.
So all those votes are going to get distributed again. But they're going to actually have to get everybody to come back out to the polls. That's why we have that reminder right there on the screen that there is a runoff election in certain wards in Newark next week. So just to remind y'all, June 14th is an election day.
Now, research shows that elections during warmer months are lower. Like,
really?
Research shows that.
I wonder why that is.
Well, people on vacation.
But people still go to work and stuff.
People on vacation, they're getting ready for the end of the school year activities. They're getting ready for prom. They're getting ready for vacationing. I said that 3 times.
Yeah, but see, people don't realize is these local elections are actually the most important ones.
They are.
These are the ones that decide if you have clean water in your pipes and you don't have to have a $20,000 water system in your house. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have a personalized $20,000 luxury water system.
Right. So listen, this last in Newark, they have a total of 237,335 registered voters, but only 30,000 ballots were cast.
Yeah, these are primaries, these are midterm elections. Right. So this is not the presidential election or anything like that. So the less known campaigns and election seasons, the less people come out. But so these are the most important.
Right. That's only a 13% turnout.
Yeah, but these are the most important elections, though.
I know. I know, Curtis, you're speaking to the choir.
They the ones that gonna fix that park down there.
I know.
Like
that
Joe Biden, don't know nothing about no park on South Orange Avenue. What are you talking about? Like Joe Biden had never heard of that park. You're saying the guy that's the city council of the West Ward, they're gonna have to take care of that.
That is correct. That is
so
correct.
If you want that park fixed, get the right person in office. That's gonna care about the community. So I mean, let's go back to Dupre because we do have a little bit more.
Okay.
We'll take a break shortly, but I just want to let him get a couple of more points out and get to the halfway point.
Okay.
So I think that publicity and marketing about things that we have can be made, to be a little better. I want to be able to have companies come inside our city and create more job opportunities. But in order to do that, you must first educate the people to be prepared. Sometimes we want things to happen and we're not prepared for it. So I would love for the residents and the building owners to prepare themselves for the things that they would like to see happen in our community. Because it's not just about who is in office, it's not just about who the elected official is, it's more about the people who live in those communities. One thing in my plan that I have, my revitalization plan, is building area boards. The area boards work in New York, they work in Chicago, and I believe they work in Florida. And what these area boards are there's 5 sections of Newark. So in these sections, you build an area board. It's almost like a board of trustees in community. You put stakeholders there, you put elders there, you put business owners there, you put youth there, and you put And you have all of them, before development goes to the zoning board. It goes to our area boards. Before things are built in our community, it goes to our area board. Before things happen in our community, it goes to the area board. So that these area board members can flood it throughout their community, let the people and the residents know what's going on, and you get a general consensus of what they want, what they do not want, and they're not blindsided by what's happening in our city. There's an old African proverb that says, if you do not allow them to help you build it, they will be the ones to tear it down. So we want them to help us build it. Information changes situations, and we welcome that. So how we got to this point? May 10th, we had the general election, the municipal election in our city of Newark, New Jersey. And in that election, I won. You get the most votes, you win. But not in Newark, New Jersey. In Newark, New Jersey, there's a rule that says you need 50% plus 1 to actually win. I got 39%. So being that I got 39%, it takes me who had the most votes, and it takes the second place most votes, and it puts them in a runoff. When the runoff happens, it doesn't matter. If somebody gets one more vote than the other person, they win. So on June 14, 2022, I'm asking all my West Warders, all my Newarkers, all the people who know what that West Ward is about, to vote for an indigenous West Warder, Dupre Kelly, A2, 2A, Team Baraka. I've already been doing the work. On June 14th, I'm just asking for the title of the West Ward Councilman.
Now, again, you're a product of the West Ward, and the West Ward inspired you to become who you are. It allowed you to be able to travel around the world and become the talented individual that was able to express yourself and generate an income from that, coming out of the West Ward, right? But what got you into politics after that?
Hip hop got me into politics. Hip hop has always been political. Hip hop always talking about being oppressed. Hip hop talked about, the ills and the qualms of our community. Hip hop comes from oppression. So anytime there's oppression and there's pain and there's struggle, there's politics. And being younger, as a teenager, I had a mentor in my life by the name of Hafiz Fareed, Muslim brother. And Hafiz Fareed is the one that first started to get me to canvas. He started to get me to give back. This is before Lords of the Underground. When you see me in newspaper clippings at my school, Newark Tech, fighting for youth who are using drugs and fighting for teenage pregnancy to slow that rate down. And when you see me fighting for my community and doing walks, cancer walks and cleaning up the community, this is before Lords of the Underground. So when I got into Lords of the Underground, right before I got into Lords of the Underground, he had me canvas for a councilman by the name of Ralph T. Grant Sr., Dr. Ralph T. Grant Sr., Reverend Dr. Ralph T. Grant Sr. And when I canvassed for him, I learned that being direct with the people, you find out so much more. You learn so much more. And I like what I learned because it gave me a different perspective about everybody in our city. It gave me a different perspective about what they thought in the South Ward, what they thought in the Central Ward, what they thought in the East Ward, the North Ward, and especially in my ward, the West Ward. And I think when you get that, you have a different type of balance that happens to you. So that's how I learned to do it. And then once in Lords of the Underground, we started to make money. We started, the group, the hip hop career changed our lives. But once it changed our lives, that same brother, Hafiz Fareed, he was not this guy. He didn't point at you. He didn't tell you what to do. He more so challenged you. He would ask you, when he see me spend money on something, he would ask me, what have you done for Newark lately? I see Newark on your hats. I see Newark on your shirts, but what have you done for Newark? And that would make me go, So I would take my own money, my own hip hop money, and I would go out and feed people. I would take my own money and I would go out and clothe people. I would go out and groom them, get them haircuts and just give them stuff to get by. But what I learned from that, and then later that allowed me to start my nonprofit organization called 211 Community Impact. But what also that did is make me realize that that's nothing but a Band-Aid. So I had to ask myself, that's for the now. You know, when you feed somebody, when you clothe them, I had to ask myself, what is real sustainable change? What do I really want to do? And I answered myself with, I want sustainable change. You know, I want systemic change to happen, because when you foster change that way, it happens and it stays around and sticks around for a long, long time. So that's what I wanted to do. And I understood and started to understand from dealing with my nonprofit that can only happen if you have political power. And political power is coming from the people who elect you to put you in office because they believe that you can do the work on behalf of the people. Yeah, I mean, see, we have to understand, like, as people that, you know, change. People don't like change. You know, anytime that there's change, people push change. You know, anytime something is different, anytime it's not like what you're used to, and it's unfamiliar to us, we push it away. We shun it. We don't like it. We don't want to deal with it. But we have to understand, you have to give a little to get a little. So you have to be prepared. If you were part of Newark, New Jersey during its demise, you should want to be included in its renaissance. You know, it's you have to prepare yourself. You have to keep moving forward. You know, a movement is not a movement unless it's moving forward. You know, you can move backwards, you can move to the side, all of that type of stuff. But it's about progressively moving forward and growing. When something grows, there's growing pains, right? There's growing pains that happen in anything. And that's the balancing act of the people. That's the balancing act of society. That's the balancing act of politicians, which is very, very difficult. You want to build new buildings and create this economic development that makes your city look enormous and blustering, and you want to do all of that. But what you don't want to do is push the people out as well. And when you grow, sometimes that can happen. So that's a difficulty of trying to balance that. I want my city to grow, but I don't want to push people out. How can I do that if I'm growing development and then prices rise, but I don't want to push the people out? You know?
And that's why employment is so important.
Mm-hmm.
That's why employment is so important, and getting the people the skills that they need to be in jobs or careers where they can afford these things. And I'm not talking about lawyers, doctors, whatever. I'm talking about even blue collar workers developing and getting skills so that you can be a plumber. Do you know how much plumbers make? Mm-hmm. You can be an electrician. And that's the balancing act, helping people develop the skills so that they are able to afford it.
Mm-hmm.
And
prepare them for the future. Yeah.
That absolutely. And I think people really overlook employment in a sense when it comes to things of that nature. How do you balance it? Starting at a younger age, let's bring vocational training back into the school.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
or at least some sort of programs where you have apprenticeships and stuff like that that the city can connect people with.
Yes.
You know, so maybe that, I mean, you do have programs, you do have facilities like Blessed Ministries that are actually trying to work to do some of those types of things, to provide some of that type of training, but not everybody knows about it. Not everybody knows about these programs. People don't know. Blessed Ministries had a job fair recently for longshoremen,
right?
Jobs paying like $20,000 a year or whatever.
Right.
So it's like,
absolutely,
these are great jobs, but how many people know about it though?
Absolutely. Well, the last time we had the longshoremen, we had a line all the way down Branford to Broad Street and around the corner.
Because there's opportunities out here. There's opportunities for people to become employed, to be gainfully employed, and have careers and paths that prepare them for the future. Because there's 21st century jobs too that are coming up. You know what I mean? Like people got to get prepared for the new waves that are coming up. That's what he's talking about. And I'm gonna let this run out because it's already late. So I didn't want to take no breaks. So we're gonna let the rest of this run out.
Affordable housing, you create that, and then people say, well, affordable housing is not really affordable to us. Then that means we need to create opportunity that creates equal wage, so so people can have a way to support themselves. All of these things are difficult tasks, and it cannot be done alone. It can't be done with just one politician or any politician. It has to be done from the ground up. It can't just be done in City Hall. It has to be able to be done with the residents, the business owners, our elders with the wisdom, our youth, and then gather all of that information and then use the power of the elected official to figure out the perfect way to get those things done. But you're gonna have to give a little to get a little. You're gonna have to give to grow. You're gonna have to get to grow. And that's what we have to realize. So we have to prepare ourselves individually so we can flourish as a whole. I think that Amiri Baraka Singh and Kenneth Gibson made people want to revolutionize, right? Then I believe that Sharp James made people feel like that they could, that they can, like they can do it. He made them feel like, they had an opportunity. And then, Cory Booker put us on a national stage. Cory Booker showed the world that Newark was great. I believe that Mayor Raz Baraka, he showed people that you can believe in yourself. You can believe in your city, that we are a blueprint and a template for the rest of the nation to follow. And he showed it and has receipts for it. So I believe that if we look at those models and take some of the greatness from all of those mayors, and we look at that and what they tried to implement and what they are doing as the current mayor, Raz Baraka, I think that if we take a little bit of that and spread that around the city, then we will bloom and grow beyond our belief. Man, I just want to say, man, you are who you are and where you are because of you. There's no excuses no more, man. If you want better and you want something different, then you're going to have to do something that you've never done before. Educate yourself. And I'm not just talking about traditionally. If it's a trade, whatever it is, just get the knowledge of whatever it is and better yourself to prepare you for opportunities. 10 years ago, there are billion-dollar companies right now that wasn't created 10 years ago, probably 5 years ago, some of them. Billion-dollar companies. 10 years ago, they didn't exist. So that means that 10 years ago, there were jobs that you didn't even know how to prepare for because it didn't exist. So prepare yourself mentally and physically. Be mentally strong. Be physically strong. Because the things that you do not know that you do not know is coming, they're coming anyway. So prepare for the unseen. And I know you're saying, well, how do I prepare for the unseen and the unknown? All social media at Do It All for Newark. That's DOITALLFOR NEWARK. That's my email at Gmail. You can hit me on my website, DupreKelly.com. That's DupreKelly.com. And I Do It All for Newark is my Instagram, it's my Twitter, it's my everything. And at Gmail is my email. And Dupre Kelly is.
Free COVID-19 PCR test. No copay, no deductible, nothing. Hi, my name is Melvina Fraser. I'm the newest hire with MedX.
Hi, I'm Neil, and I'll be the supervisor of the Lena to do this model.
And what is swapping?
Swabbing is basically it's a 2-minute process. We get your information, and we swab each nostril for 7 seconds each to test you for COVID. There's no copay. Even if you don't have insurance, you'll still be covered. We can just send you a hard copy via email of your positive or negative results.
And because I deal with so many people on a regular basis, I get tested every week. I'm fully vaccinated, but I get tested every week to protect my family, to protect my dad, protect my loved ones. It makes sense, because you can still catch COVID even though you're fully vaccinated, okay? And we might be the worst ones because sometimes we catch it and we have no symptoms, but we're just walking around spreading it around everywhere. So it's a good, you come to Blessed Ministries, you get a job, you get a free test.
Wow. So is that the end of the interview?
Yes, that's the
okay. So listen, my urbanites, I'm going to take Mr. Kelly up on his offer. I'm going to email him. I'm going to, first of all, say thank you for entering into the urban suite, as well as ask him about that playground. And if he does win, or whoever wins, they need to clean up that playground. And I will help them. Seriously.
We're going to come out with the cameras.
I will help them clean up that playground. I drive past that playground every single weekday.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it was a good interview. He made a lot of positive points, and I have to say, I know his work with the youth. You know, again, I do not endorse any candidate. Any candidate that would like to enter into the urban suite to discuss his or her issues, his or her platform, they can do so. Because I firmly believe that policies can affect your mental health if you allow it. Policies not only can affect your mental health, they can affect and impact your physical health. Clean water versus dirty water. A clean playground versus a filthy playground. Can you, I mean, really, when you think about it.
Street lights versus no street lights. That's
right, yes. Yeah. Street lights versus no street lights. A speed hump versus a no speed hump. You know, and these are little things that we have to start connecting the dots. And this is why I enjoy having politicians on this show, because people, you decide. You have the power at that voting booth to decide how you want to live, how you want to live physically, how you want to live mentally, and to a certain extent, spiritually, based on who you elect. Because if you elect someone, you may be praying more than you need to. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but see, that's the thing, because like these elections are so important, because they're the ones that's going to determine whether or not cars are just going 50 miles down your street versus there being a speed hump right there and a stop sign on the corner.
Absolutely.
Like there's car accidents up my corner a lot. You know what I'm saying? They had to put up a stop sign, but now I think they actually need a bigger stop sign.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they're not going to know that. Only we're going to know that, and we have to relay that to the local politician, and then they're going to be able to fix that. We can't go to the Democrats and the Senate and the Congress. They don't know about no stop sign around here, no street lights if your street is dark or something like that. That's not their job. That's the job of the local politicians. And all these elections where only 3,000 people out of 237,000 people come out, those are the people that's going to decide whether or not there's a stop sign on your corner or not.
That is correct.
You could have been one of them 3,000. And even in other places like where Quantavia won, there's like 600 people that voted, 400 people.
Yeah,
that voted for it. That's it. Like that's who's determining if there's stop signs and police and street lights. 400 people out of 200 and something thousands.
Right.
Y'all gotta pay attention to these. That's why we bringing you all this information.
And my thing is, how can we? Again, it's the mindset. If we don't believe it's important, we're not going to vote. We're not going to go out and vote in these local elections. So it's like we have to, like what he said, do a better job in marketing the importance of this and tying those dots. Like, okay, like you were saying, you know, basically a speed hump versus a no speed hump. This is because I think a lot of us now, urbanites, don't throw eggs at me when I say this. But a lot of us are very ignorant when it comes to these local elections. We have no idea who or what a council person does. We don't.
They're the ones that's affecting your kids. They're the ones that say if your kids have school lunch or not in that area and stuff. Like they're the ones that's making policies for the stuff that directly affects your life right now.
That's right. That's right. So so that was a very good interview. June 14th. If you are in the West Ward, South Ward and East Ward in Newark.
Yep.
So
do your duty.
Let the
do your civic
off
duty.
Yep. Let the runoff begin. And I always tell my urbanites, our ancestors were hosed. We were attacked by dogs. So that we can go to the ballot. So, you know, there is some importance to that if they try to stop us from doing so.
Right. Exactly.
So, all right. So, listen, we're getting ready to wrap up in the Urban Suite with me, Dr. Lisa Lacan. And next week we have scheduled, oh my goodness, I'm very excited, Director Jamal Hall. Film director Jamal Hall will be in the Urban Suite unless anything happens. If something happens, you're going to just see me.
God willing.
So so he will be in the Urban Suite talking about film, Black film, things of that nature, how he got into the business and stuff of that importance. It's going to be wonderful in the Urban Suite with me, Dr. Lisa Lacan. So I want to say thank you for entering in where you laugh, learn, cry, and grow. And on that note, good night. Molly, take us away.